Good day, everyone. I am Shannon Hagay Pantinople, your lecturer today for counseling skills, listening and learning, and building confidence and support. So, for listening and learning, after completing the session, participants will be able to list 6 listening and learning skills, 6 building confidence skills, give an example of each skill, and able to demonstrate the appropriate use of skills. So, what is counseling? Counseling is a way of working with people in which you try to understand how they feel and help them to decide what they think is best to do in their situation. So, in relation to this training, we need to learn how to counsel or advise our clients, especially mothers who are breastfeeding. So, counseling mothers about feeding their infants is not the only situation in which counseling is useful. Counseling skills are useful when you talk to patients or clients in other situations. You may find them useful with your family and friends and your colleagues at work. So, a mother may not talk easily about her feelings, especially if she is shy and with someone whom she does not know well. You will need the skill to listen and to make her feel that you are interested in her. This will encourage her to tell you more. She will be less likely to turn off and say nothing. So, counseling, making the mother comfortable to open up and making them feel that we understand them is very important. So, to achieve successful counseling, use of helpful nonverbal communication is one of that we need. So, what do you mean by nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication means showing your attitude through your posture, your expression, everything except through speaking. So, we have here example. So, first, kinausap mo ang patient, then you are trying to counsel her about feeding her baby. How is it going? So, this is the example. Good morning, Susan. How is feeding going for you and your baby? So, for the nonverbal communication, first is the posture. So, the hinder is if we stand with your head higher than the other person. And the helpful one is to sit so that your head is level with hers. So, next nonverbal communication is our eye contact. So, look at her and pay attention as she speaks. Do not look away at something else or down at your notes. We must focus sa ating kinakounsel, especially if nagsasalita na siya. Next is the barriers. So, do not sit behind a table or write notes while you talk. Remove the table or the notes. Dapat yan ang gawin natin dahil parang disturbing siya and makikita ng client natin or ng mother na hindi tayo interested sa sinasabi niya. So, taking time. Make her feel that you have time. Sit down and greet her without hurrying. Then just stay quietly smiling at her, watching her breastfeed and waiting for her to answer. So, do not be in a hurry. Greet her quickly or show signs of impatience or look at your watch. Yung parang nagmabadali ka parate. So, parang mafe-feel ng patient na, ay, hindi siya interesado sa sasabihin ko. Yan, so, she will not open up to you. So, for the touch the mother appropriately. So, syempre, we need permission before we touch our clients or our patients. So, do not touch her in an inappropriately way. So, these are the helpful nonverbal communication that we need. Keep your head level. Pay attention. Remove barriers. Take time. And touch appropriately. So, our nonverbal communication often demonstrates to a mother or caregiver our approval or disapproval of a situation. We should be careful to avoid allowing our own views on certain subjects, for example, religion, to be expressed in a counseling situation where it might appear as though we are judging a mother. So once we are talking to our patient, we need to make them feel that we really understand them, we empathize with them, and without judging them. So the next communication skill is the verbal communication. So the tone of our voice is very important. Always try to sound gentle and kind when talking to mothers. Diba? So, once we are counseling, syempre dapat malumanay lang yung pagsasalita natin, hindi yung parang nagagalit or nagdadabog tayo. So, dyan din kasi malalaman ng patient if like we are interested sa mga sinasabi nila, sa mga concerns nila sa atin. So, try to find out how people feel. We need to be interested and to probe beneath the surface if we wish to learn their real worries and their concerns. So, making them feel na we understand them is very important. Kasi syempre, they will tell us their real worries, their real concerns, and more information about what they feel or what they want to learn or to know about breastfeeding. So the first skill is to ask open questions. So to start a discussion with a mother or to take a history from her, you need to ask some questions. Syempre parang take lang tayo ng assessment sa patient natin. So it is important to ask questions in a way that encourages a mother to talk to you and to give you information. This saves you from asking too many questions and enables you to learn more in the time available. So I have here an example. So good morning. Good morning, ma'am. So I am Shannon, the community midwife. How is how is Henry? So like that. So mother, he is well and he is very hungry. So I'm your health worker. Tell me, how are you feeding him? So for the mother, he is breastfeeding. I just have to give him one bottle feed in the evening. So the health worker, what made you decide to do that? So mother, he wants to feed too much at that time, so I thought that my milk is not enough. So in this example, what do you think? Are we using an open question? So, diba? Yes, we are using open question kasi we are enabling the mother to tell more about her child or about the feeding of her baby. So open questions are usually the most helpful. To answer them, a mother must give you some information. So open questions usually starts with how, what, why, who, when, and where. So here is another example. So the health worker. Good morning, ma'am. I am Shannon, the community midwife. Is Mary well? The name of the child is Mary. So mother, yes, thank you. So health worker, are you breastfeeding him? So mother, yes. So health worker, are you having difficulties? So mother, no. So health worker, is he breastfeeding very often? So the mother, yes. So what do you think is the health worker using here na question? Diba? So the information is very vague. Hindi tayo nakakakuha ng too much information kasi ang sinasagot lang ni mother is yes, yes, no lang. So we call this the closed questions. So closed questions are usually less helpful. They tell a mother the answer that you expect and she can answer them with yes or no. So closed question usually starts with words like are you or did he or has he or does he. So syempre if ganyan ang question natin, hindi natin makukuha yung enough and exact information that we need to help our mother or to counsel our mothers. So if a mother says yes to this question, you still need to know if she breastfeed exclusively or if she also gave some artificial feeds. If you continue to ask questions to which the mother can only answer yes or no, you become frustrated and think that the mother is not willing to talk or that she is not telling the truth. So, yan ang magiging resulta. Like, syempre, yes or no lang ang answer ni mother. So, parang you think na, ay, parang hindi siya gusto na kinakausap siya or like that. But we do not realize that we are using closed questions. So we really need to use open questions so that we can have more information and we can truly know the concerns of our mothers. So how to use questions to start and to continue a conversation. So a very general open question is useful to start a conversation. This gives the mother an opportunity to say what is important to her. So for example, you might ask a mother of a 9-month-old baby, "How is your child feeding?" So sometimes a general question like this receives an answer such as, "Oh, very well, thank you." So when you need to ask questions to continue the conversation. So we need to like parang ginachika lang natin si mother ba, like in this way she will be more comfortable because you sound interested to her. You sound like you really need to know the concerns and the problems that she's facing while she is breastfeeding. So for this, more specific questions are helpful. For example, can you tell me what your child ate for the main meal yesterday? So you can use that question. So sometimes you might need to ask a closed question. For example, did your child have any fruit yesterday? But if you use this question, you need a follow-up question, syempre, para mas expound pa ni mother ang kanyang answer. So after you have received an answer to this question, try to follow up with another open question. So the next skill is the use responses and gestures which shows interest. So using response and gestures which shows interest. For example, health worker. "Good morning, ma'am. How is Gary now that he started solids?" Mother. "Good morning. He is fine, I think." Health worker. Nods and smiles. Mother. "Well, I was a bit worried the other day because he vomited." Health worker. "Oh dear," raises eyebrows, looks interested. Mother. "I wondered if it was something in the stew that I gave him." Health worker. Aha, nods sympathetically. So in this conversation, the health worker is using gestures like she nods, smiles, raises eyebrows to show interest to the mother. So sometimes gestures is very important in order that our clients or the mother will tell na, oh, interesado siya sa sinasabi ko or sa mga concerns ko. So with that, they will open up more to you, to us, their concerns and their problems in breastfeeding. So if you want a mother to continue talking, you must show that you are listening and that you are interested in what she is saying. So important ways to show that you are listening and interested are with gestures. Most importantly, ang gestures natin. So example, look at her, nod, and smile. So with simple responses, for example, you say, "Aha, oh dear." So this will help and make the mother feel that you are very interested in what they are telling you. So next is the reflect back what the mother says. So reflecting back. Example, health worker. "Good morning, ma'am. How are you and Gary today?" Mother. "He wants to feed too much. He is taking my breast all the time." Health worker. "Gary is feeding very often?" So mother. "Yes, this week he is so hungry. I think that my milk is drying up." Health worker. "He seems hungrier this week?" Mother. "Yes, and my sister is telling me that I should give him some battlefields as well." So health worker. "Your sister says that he needs something more?" Mother. "Yes, which formula is best?" So in this conversation, so the health worker is using reflecting back or repeating the words of the mother to reflect back. So with this, we can have more information from them and they can open up the issues and the concerns that they are dealing with by reflecting back what they are saying to us. So health workers usually ask mothers a lot of factual questions. However, the answer to factual questions are often not helpful. The mother may say less and less in reply to each question. So it is more useful to repeat back or reflect what a mother says. This is another way to show you are listening and encourages the mother or caregiver to continue talking and to say what is important to her. It is best to say it in a slightly different way so that it does not sound as though you are copying her. So the our intonation is also important na parang hindi annoying pakinggan like murag uh ginasundog na nato ilang ginaingon, di ba? So minsan annoying po na siya paminawon. So ay na slightly different way po nato siya buhaton if we are reflecting back to our client or to the mother. So next is the empathize. Show that you understand how she feels. So empathy is a difficult skill to learn. It is difficult for people to talk about feelings. So it is easier to talk about facts. Sorry. When a mother says something which shows how she feels, it is useful to respond in a way which shows that you heard what she said and that you understand her feelings from her point of view. So, di ba, this is very important na if our clients or our mothers na feel na we understand them, we empathize with them, so they have that feeling na they can open up to us, most especially with their concerns and issues in breastfeeding. So, sympathy. So, example, health worker. Good morning, ma'am. How are you and Gary today? So, Gary is not feeding well. I am worried he is ill. So, health worker, I understand how you feel. When my child was ill, I was so worried. I know exactly how you feel. So, mother, what was wrong with your child? So, in this conversation, the health worker is sympathizing with the mother. So, in this word na, I understand how you feel. So, she also, the health worker also put herself in the situation when her child was ill, she was also worried. So I know exactly how you feel. So with this word, the patient will feel na, oh, she understand what I feel. So we have the same experience. So with this, we can use this if we cancel. So if we are counseling, kasi we can also tell the patient na hindi siya nag-iisa or she is not the only one who experienced it. So, empathy. Example, health worker, good morning, ma'am. How are you and Gary today? Mother, he is not feeding well. I am worried he is ill. Health worker, you are worried about him? Mother, yes, some of the other children in the village are ill and I am frightened he may have the same illness. Health worker, it must be very frightening for you. So, in this situation, so you are empathizing. So, in the patient's point of view na po na siya kay ganiha sympathizing is on your sa ating point of view the same as what the patient experiencing and you also experience. So in this you empathize, you tell the patient or you're like just saying na you understand him, you empathize with him or her. For example, if a mother says, my baby wants to feed very often and it makes me feel so tired. So you respond to what she feels perhaps like this. So you are feeling very tired all the time then. Ano siya. So empathy is different from sympathy. When you sympathize, you are sorry for a person, but you look at it from your point of view. Yun ang sinasabi ko, point of view mo. Then for if you sympathize, you might say, oh, I know how you feel. My baby wanted to feed often too, and I feel exhausted. So you feel what she feels. Same experience or situation. You undergone that situation and experience. So you sympathize with her. So this brings the attention back to you and does not make the mother feel that you understand her. So I could reflect back what the mother says about the baby. For example, he wants to feed very often, but this reflects back what the mother said about the baby's behavior, and it misses what she said about how she feels. She feels tired. So empathy is more than reflecting back what a mother says to you. So it is also helpful to empathize with a mother's good feelings. Empathy is not only to show you understand her bad feelings. Next skill is avoid words which sound judging. So, example, using judging words. Health worker, good morning, ma'am. Is Gary breastfeeding normally? Mother, well, I think so. Health worker, do you think that you have enough breast milk for him? Mother, I don't know. I hope so, but maybe not. She looks worried. Health worker, has he gained weight well this month? Mother, I don't know. So, health worker, may I see his growth chart? So, using judging words, what can you observe here in this conversation? So we can also observe that the health worker is using close-ended questions. So the questions can be answered by yes or no. So if we use this, we cannot really identify the issue and the concern of the mother that we want to know because our question is like this and we are using judging words. So compared with this next example, avoiding judging words. So, health worker, good morning, ma'am. How is breastfeeding going for you and Gary? So, mother, it's going very well. I haven't needed to give him anything else. So, health worker, how is his weight? Can I see his growth chart? So, mother, nurse said that he gained more than half a kilo this month. I was pleased. So, di ba, nakita niyo ang pinagkaiba ng dalawa. So, the health worker here is using an open-ended questions. So if you want to avoid judging words, you need to use or have a conversation with the client or the mother with an open-ended questions. So judging words are words like right, wrong, well, badly, good, enough, properly. If you use judging words when you talk to a mother about feeding, especially when you ask questions, you may make her feel that she is wrong or that there is something wrong with the baby. A breastfeeding mother may feel there is something wrong with her breast milk. Mothers may use judging words about their own situation. You may sometimes need to use them yourself, especially the positive ones, when you are building a mother's confidence. You may have noticed that judging questions are often closed questions, as what I have said, and using open questions often helps to avoid using a judging word. So, in summary, in listening and learning skills, use helpful nonverbal communication. Second, ask open questions. Third, use responses as gestures which shows interest. Fourth, reflect back what the mother says. Fifth, empathize. Show that you understand how she feels. And lastly, avoid words which sound judging. So next, we are going to talk about building confidence and giving support. So your communication skills can help a mother feel good about herself and confident that she will be a good mother. Confidence can help a mother to carry out her decisions and to resist pressure from other people. To build confidence and support, we need additional skills. So first, we need to accept what a mother thinks and feels. So accept mother's ideas and feelings without agreeing and also without disagreeing. So accepting is not agreeing that she is right. Accepting means you are helping her to trust you. So we can accept a mother's ideas and feelings without disagreeing with her or telling her that there is nothing to worry about. Accepting what a mother says is not the same as agreeing that she is right. You can accept what she is saying and give correct information later. Accepting what a mother says helps her to trust you and encourages her to continue the conversation. So accepting what mothers think. So I have examples here. So let us identify. So first, mother, my milk is thin and weak, and so I have to give bottle feeds. So health worker, oh no, milk is never thin and weak. It just looks that way, nods and smile. So did the health worker agree, disagree, or accept? What do you think? So the healthcare worker disagreed. So this is inappropriate. So next example. Mother, my milk is thin and weak, and so I have to give bottle feeds. Health worker, yes, thin milk can be a problem. So what do you think? Agree or disagree? Healthcare worker, So, nag-agree si health worker. So, this is inappropriate also. Next. Mother, my milk is thin and weak, and so I have to give bottle feeds. Health worker, I see. You are worried about your milk. So, here, nag-agree ba si health worker? Disagree or accept? So, yes, this is appropriate because the health worker shows acceptance. So, accepting what mothers feel. So, the mother is crying. This is a say. So, it is terrible. Gary has a cold and his nose is completely black and he can't breastfeed. He just cries and I don't know what to do. So, health worker, response niya, don't cry. It's not serious. Gary will soon be better. So, was this an appropriate response from the health worker? So yes, this is inappropriate because by saying don't worry or don't cry, you make mother feel it is wrong to be upset. This reduces her confidence. So another example, mother crying. It is terrible. Gary has a cold and his nose is completely black and he can't breastfeed. He just cries and I don't know what to do. So health worker, you are upset about Gary, aren't you? So what do you think? Was this an appropriate response? Yes, appropriate because you accept what the health worker accept what mother feels and makes her feel. It is right to be upset. Next is recognize and acknowledge what is right. So we have a case study here. So a baby being weighed and his mother, the baby is exclusively breastfed. Beside the mother and baby is the baby's growth chart. This growth chart shows that he has gained a little weight over the last month. However, his growth line is not following the reference curves. It is rising too slowly. This shows that the baby's growth is slow. So in this case, how does it make a mother feel if you tell her that she is doing something wrong? So what will be the best remarks that you are going to give to the mother na para hindi din mawala ang confidence ni mother? Sige. So which of these remarks will help to build the mother's confidence? Letter A, your baby's growth line is going up too slowly. Letter B, I don't think your baby is gaining enough weight. Letter C, your baby gained weight last month just on your breast milk. So what do you think is the best answer in that case? Letter C, the last one. So your baby gained weight last month just on your breast milk. So praising good practices has these benefits. So it builds mother's confidence, encourages her to continue her good practices, and it makes it easier for her to accept suggestions later. Okay. So, sorry. Yan. Sige. Next, give practical help. So, another case study. This mother is lying in bed soon after delivery. She looks miserable and depressed. She is saying to the health worker, no, I haven't breastfed him yet. My breasts are empty and it is too painful to sit up. So, in giving practical help, so what practical help can we give to the mother in this case? So, we can help to make her clean and comfortable. We will clean mother and make her comfortable. Give her drink or something to eat. Then hold the baby when she washes or go to the toilet. So, if the mother is comfortable, this will help her milk to flow. She may be thirsty or hungry. She may want another pillow or for someone to hold the baby while she goes to wash or to the toilet. Or the mother may have a clear practical breastfeeding problem. For example, that she wants to learn how to express her milk. If you can give this practical help, she will be able to relax and focus better on her baby. So we can give her practical help. So which response is more appropriate in that case? Letter A, you should let your baby suckle now to help your breast milk to come in. Or letter B, let me try to make you more comfortable and then I'll bring you a drink. So what do you think? Letter B, let me try to make you more comfortable and then I'll bring you a drink. So you offer a practical help to the mother. Sige. So number 4, provide relevant information using suitable language. So find out what she needs to know at this time. Use suitable words that the mother understands. Do not overwhelm her with information. So this is the case study. This baby is 3 months old. His mother has recently started giving some formula feeds in the bottle in addition to breastfeeding. The baby has developed diarrhea. The mother is saying to the health worker, he has started to have loose stools. Should I stop breastfeeding? So which response gives positive information? First, it is good that you ask before deciding. Diarrhea usually stops sooner if you continue to breastfeed. So second, oh no, don't stop breastfeeding. He may get worse if you do that. So what do you think is the best response in that case? So the response number 1, because it is positive and should not make her feel wrong or lose confidence. Because the response number 2 is very critical and may make her feel wrong and lose confidence. So fifth, make suggestions rather than commands. So provide choices and let her decide what will work for her. Do not tell her what she should do or must not do. Limit your suggestions to 1 or 2 suggestions that are relevant to her situation. So case study. Health worker, good morning, ma'am. What can I do for you today? Mother, can you tell me what you asked me what foods to give my baby now that she is 6 months old? Health worker, I am glad that you asked. Well, now the situation is this. Most children need more nutrients than breast milk alone when they are 6 months old because breast milk has less than 1 milligram of absorbable iron and breast milk has about 450 calories, so less than the 700 calories that are needed. The vitamin and needs are higher than are provided by breast milk and also the zinc and other micronutrients. However, if you add foods that aren't prepared in a clean way, it can increase the risk of diarrhea. And if you give too many poor quality foods, the child won't get enough calories to grow well. So what did you observe in this case? So the health worker is providing too much information. So it is not relevant to the mother at this time. She is using words that are unlikely to be familiar to the mother. So we need to simplify our explanations every time we give advice or counseling to our moms that they can easily understand. So 6, arrange follow-up and ongoing support. Learn what help may be available. Offer a time to see her or talk with her. Encourage her to see you if she has doubts or questions. Refer her to a community support group. Refer her for more specialized counseling. Many women are not able to do what they want to do or what you may suggest they do. So often when the discussion is over, the mother may still have questions that there was not time to discuss. She may think of something else she wanted to talk about, or she may find it difficult to put it into practice. So it is important to arrange follow-up and ongoing support. So I have another case study. So Amy breastfeeds only 4 times a day and she is gaining weight too slowly. Her mother thinks that she does not have enough breast milk. So responses, you must feed Amy at least 10 times a day. So it might help if you need Amy more often. Oh, sorry. So what will be the best response in this case? So, what man? The first response is a command. It tells Amy's mother what she must do. She feel bad and lose confidence if she cannot do it. So the second response, what is it? It is a suggestion. It allows Amy's mother to decide if she will feed Amy more often or not. So in other way, have you thought of feeding her more often? Sometimes that helps. Diba? So the best response is kanang open. Like open-ended question jud ta. At least we will know what will the mother do and we can advise her and counsel her. So lastly, arrange follow-up and ongoing support. Learn what help may be available. Offer a time to see her or talk with her. Encourage her to see you if she has doubts or questions. Refer her to a community support group. Refer her for more specialized counseling. And many women are not able to do what they want to do or what you may suggest they do. So often when the discussion is over, the mother may still have questions that there was no time to discuss. She may think of something else she wanted to talk about, or she may find it difficult to put practice into action. So it is important to arrange follow-up and ongoing support. So we have a case study here. Amy breastfeeds only 4 times a day and she is gaining weight too slowly. Her mother thinks that she does not have enough breast milk. So we have responses here. So first, you must feed Amy at least 10 times a day. Second, it might help if you feed Amy more often. So what is the best response here? What do you think? Sige, so we will discuss the two responses. So the first response, what do you think it is? It is a command, no? So it tells Amy's mother what she must do. She will feel bad and lose confidence if she cannot do it, because you give her at least 10 times a day to feed Amy. So if she cannot do that, she will lose her confidence and will be worried and anxious. So the second response, what it might be, is a suggestion. It allows Amy's mother to decide if she will feed Amy more often or not. So what will be the best response that we can give to Amy's mother? So you can say to the mother that pwede na, your response will be, mother, have you thought of feeding her more often? Sometimes that helps. Diba? So, you give, advice to the mother and counsel the mother about feeding her baby. So, many women are not able to do what they want to do or what you may suggest they do. So, a discussion needs to consider the woman's situation at home, family members, the household's money and time, the mother's health, and the common practices in the family and community. And it is the important influence on what a mother can do. So remember, you should not make a decision for a mother or try to make her do what you think is best. You can listen to her and build her confidence so that she can decide what is best for her and her baby. So in summary, accept what a mother thinks and feels. Recognize and praise what a mother and baby are doing right. Give practical help. Give a little relevant information. Use simple language. Make 1 or 2 suggestions, not commands. So thank you for participating and thank you for listening.